What's good? What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of The Urban Platform Speaks. Make sure to like, subscribe as you tune into the channel, check out the content. And with that being said, man, I want to talk about this Western Conference, man. This West and the NBA, man, this gonna be something special because you have this kid here, Victor Wembanyama, man. This guy is playing out of his mind. This is it's gonna be tough, and I think once Victor, once they get rolling and get healthy back, like this guy, what's the guy named De'Aaron Fox, right? Once he get back to full strength, this team right here is going to be legit. I was listening to Run It Back with Lou Williams and Boogie Cousins, and they seem to agree. As a matter of fact, I have some audio from their show, and I'm a play it right because these two teams right here, I think probably are going to be. I got these two teams right here battling back and forth in the West for years to come. Even though I like Houston look really good right now with Şengün and Kevin Durant. Who else they got? And Amen Thomas kid, right? They got him. They look good. It's going to be tough to come out of that West. I mean, that West, they just going to beat up on each other. And I think only team really that stand a chance against the Spurs, like I said, once the Spurs learn how to win, I think the only is probably going to be OKC. And that's because they got, Chet. I don't know how Chet Holmgren, I think he's like 7'1", 7'2", something like that. And he has pretty good lateral movement. Not that he's going to be able to stay in front of this kid, Wembanyama, but it's not going to be easy, man. And then the Thunder also have Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. He's going to be tough. And like I said, De'Aaron Fox, this West going to be tough. But let me play what they were saying on Run It Back, because these guys on Run It Back seem to think that the Spurs are legit too.
Basketball show
Let's
should
leave
be
it all
started.
for the Spurs.
San Antonio Spurs sitting nice and pretty at 7-2. Nice little win over the weekend over the Rockets and the Pelicans. But the De'Aaron Fox return is obviously the big story that we can focus on. So we'll get to that specifically in a second, Lou. But I just want to know from you, have you seen enough to think, maybe perhaps they could contend this year?
Lots of potential. Lots of potential. I'll start with the pros and the cons. The pros, I think they have a lot of young talent, got a lot of guys that you can build with and around in that organization. I like Coach Mitch. I like him being young. I like the nucleus of what they're building. Are they prepped right now? It could be one of those scenarios where they can contend for a title right now as young, but they still got some growing pains. This still is a team that shoots early in the shot clock. They're going to run up and down. They're going to turn the ball over. They're going to take gambles. They're going to take a risk on the defensive end. In a 7-game series, y'all know you got to clean those type of things up. But sometimes when you have a young team and they don't have as much experience in the postseason as other teams, they can work in your favor or they can work against you. Right now, I'm still trying to figure out which one is which for the San Antonio Spurs. But as far as them having talent and having everything that's needed to make a playoff run and make a deep playoff run, I think they have all the tools there. Now, whether they put them in the right positions, in the right places, that's going to be up to them. But the potential is definitely there.
Yeah, I think.
All right, so let me say this. I think OKC better win as many championships as they can before this kid right here learn how to before these guys right here learn how to win. Because I was watching the Spurs, man, and they just look good. And Wembanyama is really on a tear, man. OKC, I can't, you know what I mean? And both of these teams, that'd be a great series too. Like imagine these two teams, Western Conference Finals, everybody's healthy, man. That makes for great basketball.
They have enough to get there. I think they have enough to compete. Are they the favorite right now to win a championship? No, there's too many other good experienced teams, but they have it all. When you watch them, they have playmaking, they have shooting, they have size, they have length, they have depth. They're basically the sixth in offense. They're sixth in offense and they're fifth in defense. And that fifth in defense would be number one if Wemby played more minutes. So like they're a versatile team. They play so hard. They have a nice combination of vet guys. When you have a guy like Olenek, you got Harrison Barnes, you got guys like that have had that experience, combined with a bunch of youth and a bunch.
I forgot about Harrison Barnes. Harrison Barnes have at least a couple championships with Steph Curry, man. So, man, that's tough. They have a nice mix, like I said, and I like the fact that they have a young head coach, so everybody's coming up and gelling together. Then they have this veteran like Harrison Barnes on there. They got their superstar Wembanyama on there. Man, De'Aaron Fox, I like him. Yeah, OKC they better watch out. I still give OKC the edge though.
Of athletic guards and playmakers, and it's all centered around Victor Wembanyama. So they do have it all. There's a lot of other teams I think they're gonna have to go through. It's gonna be hard for them to beat in a 7-game series this year. It reminds me of OKC a couple years ago, where they are on the way. Just don't know if they're there yet, but they're gonna be a tough out for whoever they get in the playoffs because they can do it all.
Couldn't agree more. I agree with everything you guys said. Young, talented team. They have a great spirit to them. Well coached, well knitted group. As far as being a contender as of right now, the talent is off the charts. Obviously, experience isn't as high as we would like it to be at this point in time. But this is a scary team, and I don't think any team in the West would like to see them throughout the playoffs. So everything is on the right with this team moving forward. I would love to see a Western Conference Finals matchup between them and OKC.
Yeah,
that's okay. That was Boogie Cousins saying, and I say the same thing, right? OKC versus the Spurs. Because these teams really do mirror each other. Both of them have 7-footers that can, play inside and out. Both of them, they got the athletic guards. You got Shea Gilgeous-Alexander on one end with the OKC. Then you got De'Aaron Fox. Now, De'Aaron Fox, he's not to the level of Shea, right? But he can hold his own. De'Aaron, and he can score. He's a slasher. I don't know what his mid-range game looked like. His mid-range game probably is not on the same level as Shea. But man, this is going to be that matchup right there would be must-see TV.
I think it would be much watch TV. This is probably one of the most exciting Spurs teams in a very long time. I know you know that.
I'm just gonna say
high-flying team. They play fast. They share the. It's a beautiful game to watch when this young team is on the floor. So I'm excited for this group. And adding De'Aaron Fox just, it was a lot of questions about how would it look, but he literally came in the game and made this team even better. So
I think we forgot how
that's
fast
impressive.
it was.
Oh yeah, but we're talking about title contention, right?
Yeah.
Not a good team. We're talking title contention. Can they contend for a title, right? When they beat you, they're 7-2 right now. When they beat you, they're gonna whip your ass. But they're also top 4 in points allowed. So when it comes to the playoffs and we want that matchup, you can't let OKC put 125, 130 on the board and think you're gonna beat them. That's gonna be a hard route. You can't do that with the Denver Nuggets and some of these veteran teams. So those are some of the things that they got to clean up. They got to shore up as a young basketball team. But when you look at them on paper, you look at them on screen, they check all of the boxes for sure.
And when we
and all right, so and I think the defensive thing will get worked out for them, right? Because Victor Wembanyama, like I said, he blocking a lot of shots and he changing a lot of shots in there too. And not only that, they have another guy in there that's like about 7 feet tall too. So they got some height and they got some length in there. So it's basically these guys right now look like the way OKC looked probably like about 3 years ago, and so if they're able to keep all these guys together, let them gel together, they're gonna make some noise. I think this year in the playoffs, though, they're gonna put a lot of teams on notice. I got them upsetting somebody too in the Western, playoffs. Watch.
talked about the Western Conference since training camp, how good, how deep it is. And you have some teams that have really went the other way with Dallas Mavericks, the Clippers, Memphis is really struggling. this is the opposite. This is a team that is going to continue to get better. They're going to continue to grow together. This feels like the Oklahoma City Thunder 2 years ago, where they're building this around this star. They have all this talent. They have so many picks. They have so much depth. They just plug a guy in like Champagnie, who not a lot of people have heard of. Now he's starting, hitting huge shots for these guys as a valuable piece of this team. Luke Cornett hasn't even really played, but he's going to be a catalyst on that second unit when picking him up from Boston. So they have so many other guys just to plug and play, and it's spooky similar to the OKC team built around.
This all started, though, basically, it started with Victor Wembanyama, right? He just make everybody game so much easier. You know, these guys going to benefit from having Victor Wembanyama. They're going to get, you know, he's going to get double teamed and triple teamed sometimes. When, you know, when he go into that middle, they're going to collapse, and he just kick it out to the open man. You already got Harrison Barnes on there. Harrison Barnes have championship experience. You know, I like that, man. That type of mentorship that Harrison Barnes bring to the table. De'Aaron Fox, I think he's coming into his prime. Man, this is crazy. This is crazy. Like I said, this year they're going to put teams in that Western Conference on notice. I already think Victor Wembanyama did it, but he's bringing the rest of his team along with him. And this is going to be must-see TV. I love to see a matchup between these two teams, you know, for that Western Conference Finals. And I look forward to seeing it. As a matter of fact, I'm calling it right now. And so with that being said, man, y'all make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Also, don't forget to leave a comment. And I'll check you all out in the next video. Peace.